Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we return to talking about the mainstream media and how they're openly hypocritical and almost kind of very insulting to us. They lie straight to our faces and do one thing as they tell us to do another. It's very, very frustrating, and it's never gotten more brazen than 2020. I kind of thought 2016 times were bad, but 2020 seems to be giving 2016 a run for their money. And specifically, today we're talking about a certain host at CNN called S.E. Cupp. S.E. Cupp is this chick who wears glasses, and she's also a pretend Republican. She's like one of those one Republican conservative people they have on CNN to try and pretend that they're not biased, like they act like they have a few right-leaning people, but really they're not. They're kind of like what they call rhinos, Republican in name only. And S.E. Cupp is one of the worst of them. She's like a never Trumper. She's super negative and just kind of like a fake news person, like a fake person, like almost like a token conservative is what you could call it. They put them on these left-leaning networks to try to make them look a little balanced and a little bit like they talk to both sides, but they don't, especially in this day and age. This is not happening. So that's why we're talking about her today. Specifically, what's going on with S.E. Cupp is we're going to be talking about this whole mask situation. Of course, we all know there's been a health scare going on across the country. There's been a virus that's been taking a plague to the world, and it's kind of popped up again this summer. The second wave, as they call it, has been starting to kind of come around in a lot of places. And what's resulted in it is a new kind of hysteria around masks. Recently, the liberals are pushing for masks like really hardcore, like kind of like creepy way. They want to like control everyone and force mask wearing. And it's a big 180 from the way they were just like a few months ago. At the beginning of the crisis in March and April, they said masks didn't work. They were like anti-mask. They were talking about people saying on the news that masks weren't like helping. They actually could hurt. Like this was a total 180 from that original stance. Now it's like everyone has to wear masks, and it's obviously become a bit political. I mean, I'm not going to go totally anti-mask myself. I believe in freedom and believe in the fact that people should have a right to wear or not wear a mask. But, you know, you got to identify there's possibilities that it could help at least a little bit. It's worth a try, especially if you're being a little specific or paranoid or a little more like concerned. But the point is today is S.E. Cupp is one of the people that's like mask policing everyone, like making everyone wear masks, saying like, oh, you're not wearing a mask. You got to wear a mask. Everyone's got to wear a mask here. Why isn't the president wearing a mask? Like one of these kind of Karen-like liberals that is bossing everyone around. And she even said that people should wear masks outside. Like if you're at the beach, even if you're social distancing, she's encouraged this kind of like strict mask wearing. And the irony comes with the fact that she recently posted a selfie of her not following her own advice. Here you can see a picture of it in the background of this article. The article says, CNN's S.E. Cupp lectures on masks at beaches, then post beach selfie without one. Absolutely hypocritical, absolutely insane, and just so bold too. Like I said, this is like right in your face. She posted this own picture, like this is her own selfie after weeks of like being the mask police and telling everyone they had to do it. And here she is. She's just like, no, not me, not for me. You know, rules for thee and not for me. And that's just the worst part about Democrats now is they don't practice what they preach. They're having this mindset of it's okay when liberals do it. They really think they're above us and they're better than us. And it's just never been in our faces more than now. Like, think about it. Like, if you had been on the news all week telling everyone to wear masks, even mentioning wearing masks at a beach, then how can you post a picture on Saturday of you not doing that? It's insane. I don't get it. It's like, how do they not see this kind of incongruence? Like, it's so obvious. Like, anyone with half a brain would say, hey, if I just talked about how people should be going vegan all week at work, like I was on TV or a radio show saying everyone should stop eating meat, you know, maybe if I do that all week, I probably shouldn't be going and having a cheeseburger at McDonald's on Friday night. And on top of that, the next step is, and it makes it even worse and more bold, is you shouldn't be posting a picture of yourself doing that. Like imagine posting a selfie of yourself eating a big cheeseburger after you spent a whole week saying everyone should stop eating meat. This is exactly how ridiculous this S.E. Cupp story is. And it just goes to show that her and CNN, they're a bunch of jokes and they're not worth taking seriously. The article goes on to read, the never Trump Republican who's had a contentious relationship with the party over her support for gay marriage and continuing foreign wars used her CNN show SE Cupp Unfiltered and Twitter account to scold Americans who forego wearing masks. Despite tweeting, just wear a mask, it's so effing simple, and implying President Trump is not well for refusing to wear one, Cupp posted a picture of herself on July 12th on a public beach without a mask. The hypocritical photo, shared on various social media platforms, including Twitter and Instagram, came days after she tweeted the following. Want to stay healthy? Wear a mask. Want to keep your family safe? Wear a mask. Want businesses to come back? Wear a mask. Want to go out to bars and restaurants and beaches soon? Wear a mask. Want your kids' schools to open? Wear a mask. Want freedom again? Wear a mask. So apparently she wants everyone else to wear a mask, but she doesn't have to, like we see in this picture. By the way, she looks like really smug. Like she's just the kind of person that always looks like they're smug, like they think they're better than everyone else. And she clearly does. I mean, she said all this mask stuff. It's like, which is it? Do you think people should wear masks? Is that really important to you? Or were you just saying that to like toe the line? Like, did CNN just give you those talking points and you really don't care? I mean, it's got to be that on some level. Like, if she really, really thought masks were this important, why isn't she wearing one? It's very simple. It's not there. There's not much depth to it. Like, the only nuance I could think of is, okay, you know, she's at some private beach or she drove to like an island or something. Like, I don't know what beach she's at, but if it's your typical drive up to beach, like if it's something you walk to and there's possibly a few other people there, even if it's just a few, I mean, the what she said before would mean she should be wearing a mask, like if she really believed that. Cupp has even taken to national television to extol the merits of masks, insisting President Trump's anti-mask shtick is tragically stupid and dangerous, adding it's hurting his supporters on CNN. So this is SE Cupp talking about that. We could watch that video in a moment. And it also says, while the National Pulse doesn't have any desire to force Essie to wear a mask on an abandoned beach, her repeated insistence that Americans should do so puts her firmly in the media hypocrite category. Yeah, that's really the worst part. That's really the part that doesn't make sense. Like I said, there's possibility that, yeah, that beach was not anyone there. You know, maybe it was abandoned. Maybe there was nothing there to worry about. But the way that she had her rhetoric, it definitely implied like this would be a situation to wear a mask. I mean, we saw that tweet. It was just saying wear a mask everywhere, essentially. Anytime you leave the house, anything like that she was talking about is mask, mask, mask. So the fact that she doesn't wear it is definitely saying a lot. So with that said, let's go ahead and check out some of this video.
Filtered from home, or in this case, a flash studio near my home. I'm SE Cupp. You know, all he has to do is say, wear a mask. In fact, all he has to do is wear a mask. But President Trump is so invested in turning a health crisis into a culture war to titillate his ever-shrinking base of supporters that he won't do the one thing that could actually help keep them healthy.
So dramatic, so over the top about the mask. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's just the way they talk on CNN. It just seems like there's like a lot of these pauses, like they act like they're delivering these bombshells every line, especially when they talk about Trump. They act like it's so serious and so like over the top. It just doesn't make sense to me. The other thing I notice here is just how harsh she is with Trump, like how she's just, I don't know, she's just really, really funny about the mask thing, like, oh, the mask is just so hard to pull off. And I really think that's honestly, this is a good quote because it's pointing out, like, I think the whole reason they're pushing for masks is because Trump wasn't wearing one a few times and they want to like pressure him into it and make it look like, oh, he's a monster for not wearing a mask, like he's going to get everyone sick. Like that's actually, I think, the stronger explanation here. They pretend they care about it, but we saw the pictures on the beach. We've seen a lot of these other reporters pulling this stuff too. Like they'll act like the mask is so important during the press conference, but once they think the cameras are off, they start pulling their masks off. And there's like one or two times that was caught on camera by like another person filming, and it was like the reporters all start pulling their masks off when they think the cameras are off. And then there's also that other famous situation where that one CBS reporter was like asking Trump something, and then she pulled down her mask after like Trump said something about an Asian country, and then she pulls down her mask so everyone knows that she's Asian, trying to say Trump was racist. But the point there was she was being mask police too. Like all these people that are the mask police, and they're like trying to push it on everyone and be in control of everything. They never follow the rule themselves. Like they never wear the mask out in public. They do it improperly. And like SE Cupp, she just does whatever she wants. She just says whatever comes to her mind in the studio, whether or not she'll actually believe it.
Makes you wonder, friends like Trump, who needs enemies? Conventional wisdom has long held that everything Trump does is geared toward his base, that every policy proposal, remember those? Every tweet, every outburst was aimed at them and them only. He's never been all that interested in growing his base. But over the past few months, it's hard to tell if he even cares about them anymore.
I don't know what you're talking about, lady, because I'm actually distracted. If you look at her glasses, there's like a green square of reflection in them. Like you can barely even like make out what's going on. Like you can't see her eyes. Like the glasses are really throwing me off. And the other thing is, I mean, Trump does everything to pander to his base. I mean, that's what every politician does. Like, are you trying to pretend that liberals don't do that? Like, liberals do the same thing, probably worse. Like, they're not trying to bring in Republicans to their party. They're not playing to the middle. Like, liberals are more extreme than they've ever been. And Republicans I don't think are that extreme. I think we're actually more open and probably doing more than what they're claiming here than they would ever admit. I mean, the Republicans let in all kinds of former liberals. We have all kinds of minorities. All the alphabet people are welcome. Like, it is an open group on the right. The left, on the other hand, you got to be strict. You can't be white. You can't have different beliefs. Like, they're like the more strict kinds of, like, what do you call them? Like very, very, like almost like cult-like. Like you have to believe in everything they say. It's very like religious on the left.
If he did, the least he would do is keep them safe. And yet, in states like Texas, Arizona, Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana, Florida, reopenings are being pulled back by either governors or local officials as
Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, Colorado, North Carolina, South Carolina, South Dakota, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I don't know. I'm just kidding, because at first it just seemed like she was just going to keep naming states. Like she thought that was giving her a good point. She just like kept going. She's like Washington, Delaware, Oregon, California, Montana, Chattanooga. Wait, that's a city. Okay. You get the point. Like this is a bad show from a bad person who's super biased, and she doesn't practice what she preaches. She doesn't care about masks as much as she claims. They only care when they think they could get a point against their opponent, which is obviously Trump. That's all CNN talks about. And the worst part about this is like S.E. Cupp is supposed to be some kind of fake Republican. She's clearly not. She's just a Trojan horse or some kind of fake wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, it's not to be trusted. And she's just a hypocrite and a terrible fake news reporter like the rest of them. That about wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Hit the like button to get things shared. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell to get notifications. And until next time, have a great day.